He got a pizza. He wanted a pizza, and he didn't want a Little Caesars
I
pizza.
can't show that on video.
He wanted a Costco.
He wanted a Costco pizza because he chows
And
Costco
then-
pizzas.
And then he didn't want to wait to take it home. He had to sit there
And eat
a
it.
slice.
Oh, they take it home?
Well,
I
yeah,
can't
then
show
they'll
that.
take the rest.
Hang on again.
79 windows were made
Here.
by the Tiffany Glass
Sure.
Company.
Okay. I'm trying to show this.
They said
79
80% of the rooms had fireplaces.
fireplaces.
Yes.
Wow. Nice.
They said
Okay.
it cost $4,000 per person to spend the season here, which was from January to Easter. $4,000.
$4,000?
Back in 1888.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. Imagine what it'd be now. That was for the snowbirds, right?
The very rich.
Yeah, very rich. Look at his. He's got a tilted camera there. Tilted.
Take a picture.
Go ahead and get started. Before we get started, I just want to make sure everyone here that's on the tour has their red sticker on where I can see it and has checked in our gift shop. If you haven't, you can go ahead and do that. I will be your tour guide today. My name is Aria. I am a sophomore here at Prager College, studying international relations, gender studies with a French certificate. I'm originally from the faraway land of Jacksonville, Florida. I came a long way to get here. So we're going to talk just a little bit about what you're going to expect to see at this college. So we are seeing, this is Prager College. The main building is right here, what we're standing in. This is the former Hotel Ponce de Leon. This was a hotel from 1888 to 1966. 2 years later, in 1968, it was established as a college by Lawrence Lewis Jr. That's Henry Flagler's great nephew. We started for two reasons. Lawrence Lewis Jr. started us for affordable private education. So as a freshman, you're going to expect to pay about $40,000 in tuition. So that's gonna include your tuition and your room and board on campus. You also are going to be in a historical environment. So you're standing in the former Hotel Ponce de Leon. We also have another 20 historical buildings on campus. So affordable private education, historical preservation were two reasons to start. And we also started as a deaf education school. So we were a women's-only institution for 3 years. It was in 1971, we were co-ed. 1973, we were officially accredited as a full-year college. And again, we started off with deaf education. We have a very close relationship with the Florida School of Deaf and Blind. We now have 38 majors, 50 minors, and one master's program. That master's program is going to be in deaf education. We're a Division II school, a little under 3,000 students. And is there any questions about the school? Okay, perfect. So before we get really in-depth on this tour, the architecture and artwork and everything, it's important to know a little bit about Henry Flagler's life. So that's what we're going to start with. Henry Flagler, our namesake here, was born in 1830 in Hopewell, New York. He was a resident of New York for most of his life. He was born to the son of a minister, and that's very important because throughout this tour, we're going to find three main themes in this architecture. And that first of those themes is going to be a religious thing. So you're going to see chair heads all throughout, such as in these little door frame areas here, as he was a religious man. It was at age 14 he left New York for the first time to go to Ohio, where he gained his first fortune at the age of 14 in the grain industry. And then after his investments in the grain industry, he decided to go into the salt industry. However, he joined a little bit too late, and he did lose a good amount of money. However, he was one of the richest men in America by the 1870s.
Well, he was.
J.D. Rockefeller. J.D. Rockefeller of Standard Oil was not the only founder of Standard Oil. Henry Flagler was a co-founder. He helped start Standard Oil. Rockefeller credited him with creating the Standard Oil Trust, and he was their accountant for many years. However, he decided a couple years into the business to go off with the money he made and drop out. Rockefeller, of course, you know his story. He continued on with the business and became very, 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 very wealthy. But Henry Flagler delved into the train industry, the railroad industry. And it's actually Henry Flagler and Henry Plant who took the railroad from Jacksonville, Florida, all the way out to Key West. Henry Flagler came to St. Augustine for the first time with his first wife. Mary Harkness was his first of 3 wives. She got sick. What did the New York doctors prescribe? Sunshine. So they came to the Sunshine State. They came here with the railroad, like I mentioned, and only went to Jacksonville. So they took a horse and carriage out here to St. Augustine. And Henry Flagler absolutely hated it. He thought it was boring, dirty, there's nothing really good about it. So they went back to Jacksonville and eventually back to New York. And Mary Harkness unfortunately passed away. Just 2 years later, he marries his second wife, Ida Alice. Now, he knew Ida Alice for a while, as she was the caregiver of Mary Harkness. But this is when he came back to St. Augustine, began to work with the railroads, expanded them, like I said, out to the Key West. And with that expansion, there was a drastic shift in St. Augustine. It was livelier, got cleaned up a lot. However, at this time, it was really just this place you came for business and such. There was not very much tourism in it. That's where Henry Flagler changed when he developed into the luxury hotel business. The first hotel he built, the Hotel Ponce de Leon, the very building we're standing in. Another hotel, the Alcazar Hotel. That is now the Lightning Museum directly across the street, opened just a few years later. Now, Casa Monica is an interesting story. Henry Flagler did originally own the Casa Monica, though it's now owned by Marriott, I believe. He did not commission its building. It was built by a business rival in the year 1888, so the very same year it opened. This hotel opened. That means Henry Flagler had some competition with another luxury hotel. If there's one thing about Henry Flagler, he was not a fan of competition. So, he used his control over the railroads, stopped supplying that building, and bled the previous owner dry until he had to sell. So he eventually gained ownership of the Casa Monica. Those are his 3 hotels he had here in St. Augustine. We had another 4 hotels throughout Florida. These are his longest lasting ones. It's at this time they would live, he had a house here, they would live the seasons here, and now you have the 1890s coming up. And Ida Alice begins to have some mental health issues. They're still residents of New York. Ida Alice becomes institutionalized. Henry Flagler wants a divorce. In New York, you're not allowed to divorce based off of mental health issues or insanity or anything like that.
Really?
So, this is when Henry Flagler officially changes his residency to Florida, involving lawmakers and passed what's now known as the Flagler Divorce Law. This
Florida started back then.
Yeah.
It was only active for less than a year, and only one person ever used it. Henry Flagler. But he divorced Ida Alice. She stayed up institutionalized. He was officially moved here down to Florida. This is 11 days after that finalized. He married his 3rd and final wife. Mary Harkness was his 3rd wife. Mary Harkness was 34 when they got married. Henry Flagler was 71. They stayed married for about 13 years. And Henry Flagler ended up passing away in Palm Beach, Florida, after falling down his house there from stairs. He fell down, had some hip complications, and ultimately passed away. He's now buried here in St. Augustine at the Memorial
downstairs.
A church commissioned to be built by Henry Flagler in honor of his late daughter who passed away during childbirth. That daughter is also buried there. Mary Harkness, his first wife, is buried there. And an infant granddaughter is buried there with him. Henry Flagler is known as the father of Florida tourism, and he's what really made St. Augustine what it was today. But that's all I have about Henry Flagler. Does anyone have any questions?